Hi folks, and welcome to In the Kitchen with Pete. Today's simple and delicious recipe is chicken piccata. Piccata is just a method of preparing food. You cut the meat thin, you coat it, you saute it, and then serve it in a sauce. Once you get these methods down, it's very versatile. You can use it in all sorts of different meats and fish. Good one to keep in the hip pocket, and then tweak it the way you like it. Well, let's get cooking. I'm going to start out with 2 chicken breasts. Ultimately, we want to get these down to about 1/4 of an inch thick. One of these is a little thicker, so I'll cut it in half first. Then I'm going to place them into a heavy Ziploc bag and just tap them down and flatten them out. If you have a meat tenderizer, use the flat side, or I like to use my large rubber mallet. It's quite easy. Just tap them gently until you get them to about 1/4 of an inch thick. Then we'll place those onto a cutting board and cut them into smaller pieces, about 3 or 4 inches. That looks just about right there. Season both sides of the chicken with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then in another container, we're going to add about 1/2 cup of flour to it. Now we want a light coating on here. After you've run it through the flour, give it a little tap on the side of the container to shake off the excess flour. We're not looking for a heavy coating here. We'll finish these up and then we'll get over to the stove. We'll be putting together a delicious sauce for the chicken piccata, and I like to add some pasta to the sauce. Spaghettini or angel hair is a good option for this. In a large skillet, medium heat, we'll add 3 tablespoons of olive oil and a tab of butter. Once that's melted, we can begin to add our chicken. It doesn't take long, only about 3 or 4 minutes per side. After 3 or 4 minutes, you'll see they'll be nice and golden brown. Just give them a flip and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. After 3 or 4 minutes and they're golden brown, we'll remove those, put them onto a plate with some paper towels for a little drainage, and you can keep them warm in the oven at 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Now let's make the sauce. First, we're going to add 1/2 cup of white wine. I usually have some Pinot Grigio here handy, and that's the wine I chose today. Use one that you like to drink. So we're going to reduce that by half. Give it about 3 to 4 minutes on a medium heat. Next, we'll add 3 tablespoons of butter, and then 2 cloves of finely diced garlic. Our next item, capers. They're actually an edible flower bud. They're pickled, they give a great saltiness flavor. I find them similar to olives. We're going to let all those flavors play together for 2 minutes, and then we'll add 1/2 cup of chicken broth and 3 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Give it a stir and let it simmer for a further 2 minutes. Although not traditional, I like to add 1/4 cup of fresh grated parmesan cheese. Gives it some great flavor and it thickens up that sauce a little bit. Give it a stir and let it simmer for another minute or 2. Now you can place your piccata chicken right back into the sauce or drizzle it over top like I'm doing here, because I'm going to lay in my nice fresh pasta back into the pan with all that lovely sauce. Give it a toss and then add some fresh chopped parsley on top, and then it'll be time to plate it up. Here I've plated a single serving In the center of the plate, I just nestled up a nice little serving of pasta and then surrounded that with the chicken piccata, garnished with a little fresh chopped parsley. Oh my, doesn't that look mouth-watering? Well, that was another simple and delicious recipe. You know what I enjoy about this recipe? It's so versatile. You can change it up and make it your own. Maybe you want to take out the pasta, add some asparagus, add some green beans, thicken it up with some flour, or add a little bit of heavy cream. All sorts of ideas. Make it your own. If you come up with some ideas, I'd love to hear them. You can contact me here on YouTube or inthekitchenwithpete@gmail.com. Well, now I'm going to try the goods. My favorite part. It's so tender, cut so easy. Oh. Buttery, lemon, and the saltiness from the capers. It's a keeper. You're gonna love it. Well, thanks for coming out and watching In the Kitchen with Pete. Until next time, see ya. Living life the way I do. Well, if you don't love me, baby, please don't pretend you do.